Hello.
Hello.
Can everyone hear us? Because
Technical difficulties.
I can't hear anything. Not in the cans either.
No?
Can you?
No,
No, sir. Should we just check that everyone else can hear us on there?
Yeah.
As long as they can, then
we
it
get a
doesn't
bit of feedback.
Huh?
We can get a bit of feedback off people just to let us know.
Yeah, sound's coming through there. Yes, we are being heard on there as well. So, for some reason, it's not coming through the cans. See, once again, we're missing our technical man. So, for some reason tonight, we're not broadcasting to YouTube. And we're not broadcasting to... No, just YouTube, isn't it? We're
Just
broadcasting
YouTube. I think we're everywhere else.
Club Star Wars, the Xbox, and we're broadcasting into Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you could just kill the sound completely on that. There we go. I'm hearing myself like Time Loop Paddy in like a thing. So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Another last minute seat of our pants type affair.
Yeah.
But James, we need you, man.
Certainly do.
Or a 10-year-old kid to teach us how to use this stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll be okay. But yeah, welcome to the show. And I think I was going to say at the top of things tonight, John Mockridge. Hey! John was in Empire Strikes Back.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here.
See,
It's a pleasure.
We've got to be the only Star Wars streaming program that has like people from Star Wars.
People from Star Wars joining us. That's,
apart from
that's
like the big
cool.
ones.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was going to say, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Now, I think people should probably start getting used to this being as a form of communicating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This coronavirus that's going
Don't
around.
say that word, whatever you do. Mind you, we're not on YouTube, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's been found in Saddleworth. Apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, did you not see that?
No.
Oh, I got an alert. I got a text alert off Saddleworth Medical Practice saying,
All right.
"Watch out, you're all going to die." No, it was like, if you think you've got coronavirus,
Yeah. CV.
don't come into the surgery.
Right. Okay.
Stay at home and die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically what it said.
Okay.
But I think with with all these diseases, homicidal maniacs every street corner, Trump in the White House, all these things, I think probably that we're going to have to get used to gathering in a digital.
Yeah,
and
just communicating via webcams.
That's it. Conventions will just be
Facebook,
you'll all be screens just being moved around a convention room.
Yeah,
placed in front of the actor who'll then speak to you through a
equivalent
screen.
of a head in a jar, just being
exactly.
Yeah.
Your autograph will be posted to you. So everyone's happy. There's no dissent. There's no dissent in the streets.
Yeah.
Everyone's
just on Twitter.
Everyone's just on Twitter, plugged in.
Yeah. It's the Matrix.
Like the Matrix or like Tron. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway,
it's funny actually. I don't think this is one of the stories we're going to be talking about today, but
we can do
Bob Iger.
Iger.
Yeah.
Is gone.
It was Geeks and Gamers guy. What's he called? Jeremy. He was saying, he's a clever guy, Bob Iger, and he's probably seen what's around the corner.
He's seen the writing on the wall.
The old CV coronavirus, the beer virus, affecting the parks, and that won't look good for him. So he stepped aside, and then eventually, when it blows over, he'll step back in. It looks like he saved the day.
Yeah, it could be. You never know.
You never know.
When he walks in.
Yeah. Darth Iger.
Yeah. Careful not to choke on your contract. Lord Kennedy. Anyway, we're not getting to those rants just yet. But I think probably we should do some news.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some news. Okay, so there's a fair bit of news. Well, do you want to start off with the Bob Iger thing? Because I know you were sort of talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe talking about it on Twitter, but what's the name of the guy that's replaced him? I haven't got the news article.
Chapek. I think it's Bob Chapek.
Chapek. Bob Chapek.
I always think of paycheck and then swap
yeah. Well, it will be a Chapek for him. I'm quite sure.
a big Chapek.
I'm sure he'll do okay out of it.
Yeah.
So hello to Lee Bradbury, Aaron J.C. Parkinson, Dominic Gallagher, Lisa Wood, John Mocker, who said hello to already.
Thanks for
Mick
joining us
Skinner, Chris Judge. Hey, cheers for joining us on Facebook.
Book of Face.
How's the Tube of You?
Well, we're not on YouTube of You. I thought. Well,
we are. We're there, aren't we? I thought we were. Not the Tube of You. I mean on Twitter.
Oh, we're on Twitter.
Yeah, we're not on YouTube.
We're on Mixer.
Yeah, there's no comments there yet. Okay, and we're on Mixer into Club Star Wars. Yeah. So, but everyone was like, "Ooh, this is a big shock and everything." But it was like he'd been trying to do it for a while.
Yeah. Well, he was on the cards for stepping down next year, so he's
right
12 months ahead of schedule, if you like.
He made the $4.3 billion deal from Jaws. And
and Chapek isn't the guy everybody thought would replace him. There was no sort of heads up with that
shortlist or anything.
Yeah, because he's not a very popular guy, apparently. Chapek, he's
not a popular guy
as far
Disney,
as parks are concerned.
Oh, he's a parks
like
type.
The fans of Disney parks and what have you really don't like the guy with what he's doing.
Why?
So, yeah, I don't know, but this is.
We've not had any proper.
I can't give you any examples as such, but this is word on the street.
The word on the Twitter.
Disney Twitter doesn't really like the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, the theory is just a interim CEO. Whether Iger steps back in again or not, somebody else will replace Paycheck.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe within the year. Okay.
So the coronavirus situation that you think you might have done a tentative thing.
There's that. There's Marvel. Looks like it's on a downturn. There's not a lot of I don't know, excitement or the forecasts for Marvel itself. It won't do as well as it's previously done.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
The Avengers have gone, so
yeah, it feels like it finished to me.
Yeah.
So,
but they're going to milk it for whatever else.
Yeah. What else?
I mean, we've got Black Widow coming.
Yeah. Apart from that, we've got Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
What's the other girl superhero? What's she got? Captain Marvel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which everyone was not that enthusiastic about anyway.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's quite controversial.
So that's on the downturn.
Yeah.
Everyone's still moaning about Star Wars.
Everybody's moaning about Star Wars still.
Yeah. I mean, this should bring, before we kind of get onto Star Wars in detail, I think maybe it's quite good that you've talked about. Yeah, welcome to the Star Wars show, guys. No, it's not the Star Wars show. It's Club Star Wars.
Club Star Wars.
Sorry, if it was the Club Star Wars show, we'd be talking like this.
Act a little bit more
Oh
enthusiastic.
my god! Yeah. So, are you excited about seeing a Han Solo movie? Not really.
Not really. Of
course
I am.
Of course I am. Not. So, yeah, since you've been talking about Marvel, this might be a good opportunity to talk about another Lucasfilm project that's been in the news.
Oh yes,
this week. So,
which I'm kind of worried about now. Actually, with this sort of news.
So, Indiana Jones, as we know, has been delayed at least twice since they announced it. I think it's the same old shit of we've not nailed a script and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know why it takes so long to make an Indiana Jones script. I mean, they made 3 crackers in the space of less than 10 years.
Yeah.
80 to 89.
Who wrote them scripts? Do you know?
It was Kaz Dan was involved in the first one.
Yeah.
it was a couple. It was a writing team that wrote Temple of Doom based on Lucas and Spielberg ideas, much like the Raise the Lost Ark, and Last Crusade was written by Jeffrey Boam, which was a belter.
Yeah.
And Crystal Skull was written by that guy that works with Spielberg all the time. He's written quite a bit of his stuff.
His name escapes me.
His name escapes me as well.
I think I know who you mean.
But yeah,
Crystal Skull was a bit.
He didn't do an amazing.
People, it's kind of split the opinions, didn't it? But I enjoyed it.
There are some people who say, who go that it's an Indiana Jones trilogy, you know.
Yeah.
And there's dope, you know, and this whole red letter media thing about, you know, it doesn't work when Indiana Jones is old. He's got to be a dashing adventurer and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could see people's points about it. You know, the movie wasn't perfect. For me, the opening 20 minutes were worth the 19-year wait. That opening 20 minutes, you know, swinging through Area 51 and all that, I was like, this is the bollocks. This
starts off with waiting on the border hound.
Racing. And and one of his coolest entrants, they pull him out of the boot of that car and you see his silhouette as he puts the hat on. I was like, yes!
Yeah, I was watching it the other day actually. Yeah, it's classic.
There is some great stuff in there.
Yeah, some memorable like moments where you see the mushroom cloud and
that just places him perfectly in the 50s.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, a lot of people's main bugbear was the aliens thing, and I was like, I'm not asked about that because they did Religion 3 times.
It's an adventure fantasy film.
It is. They did Religion 3 times.
Yeah.
So they needed to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And going and talking about like nuclear weapons and the alien thing.
Yeah.
Places it in the 50s.
In that era.
In that 50s B-movie sci-fi thing. And, you know...
It was the way to go. It was the only obvious way to go.
It's the obvious way to go. And because the original movies were tributes to the Saturday morning serials of the 20s and 30s, then it made sense to go 50s.
Yeah.
Like, now if they're doing this new one, obviously it's going to be in the 60s, isn't it? Or maybe even in the 70s. It might straddle.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be Cold War. Vietnam. You know, it's going to be around there.
Yeah, and
which could be interesting, like
theories.
Indiana Jones running into some hippies and things like that. You know, it could be quite.
So you had the aliens in the 50s. What's in the sort of 60s, 70s?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it goes back to you could go back to like espionage type.
Mm.
You know, they touched on a bit of espionage in Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
But it wasn't explored as bit. You know, it was just a little bit of a sort of subplot that was thrown away.
Yeah.
If the main thing was like Indiana Jones espionage the Russians, a bit like Raise the Lost Ark, where he's like trying to stay one step ahead of the Nazis.
Yeah.
I mean, they were trying to do that with Crystal Skull, but there were certain elements that didn't quite work, and like the the father-son relationship of him and Mutt didn't go toe to toe with him and Connery. Which how could it? I mean,
no, exactly.
You know, it's virtually impossible to recreate that kind of magic. That being said, there was some good stuff there, like the scene where they're in the diner, the two of them.
Yeah,
that was brilliant. You know, that was good.
A knife to a gun fight.
Yeah, and the bike chase, all that. You know, there was some really good stuff in there.
There was. Absolutely.
But as we say, the problem, you know, the writing wasn't perfect. So when they properly announced Indiana Jones 5 again, they said that your man, who we can't remember the name of, was coming back to write the script.
Right.
So I was like, But then, you know, had it been a few years ago, I'd have said, we need to bring Kasdan back to save everyone's bacon.
Yeah.
But two Kasdans wrote Solo, and oh boy,
look how that turned out.
Oh boy, did that suck.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of people like Solo, I must admit.
Eh?
A lot of people do like Solo, but
yeah, a lot of people.
I can take it or leave it. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I can leave it. So
back to Indiana Jones for a minute.
Yeah, back to Indiana Jones for a minute, and then we'll move along with Star Wars. So, then the last thing they heard was that he was off, and Kasdan Jr. was on board.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Doing something with the script, and I was like,
he was going to write the whole script apparently.
I was like, that's interesting. Now, and obviously Lucas is out of the picture, so whether he'd even come up with a MacGuffin or not, has he? Have they used any of his ideas, or have they just tried to come up with something themselves? And then,
well, if it's anything the way Lucasfilm,
probably
they've probably tried to come up with something.
Tried to come up with something themselves. Spielberg's been on board for a while, and as we know, Spielberg's got loads of other projects. He's totally moved on.
Yeah.
When they were doing Crystal Skull, he was like, "I'm done with this series. Let's say goodbye."
Yeah.
It was great. And
so he reluctantly did that.
He reluctantly did that one. So it was a shock to everyone, but I'm kind of not surprised in a way that he. I reckon it's got to a head in, because the last thing Ford said was like, I'm gonna shoot it in this. When did he say? Recently in his interviews, he was like, I'm gonna shoot it in the summer.
Yeah, he said in the interview, which was a month ago. He said we start shooting in 2 months.
Yeah,
so it would have been a month from now, roughly.
Yeah, but we're trying to sort out some scheduling issues.
Yeah.
Now, whether that was a gentle tee up to just go get ready for some news,
right? Yeah,
and then next minute Spielberg's out.
Yeah.
Now everyone, of course, is like going, oh well, no, no Spielberg, no Lucas, no Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Which I can see the point. I can totally see the point. I'm going to slightly cling on for dear life because Harrison Ford's still attached.
Yeah.
But not just that. They've announced that they've not announced him officially, have they? But they said it's looking likely that James Mangold is going to step into directing duties.
Yeah.
Now, if he...
That's not a bad choice at all, really.
If he does for Indiana Jones what he did for Wolverine...
Yes, exactly.
Then maybe it's just the breath of fresh air that Indiana Jones needed.
Is it Logan?
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah, that was a fantastic movie.
He did Logan and he did the Wolverine.
Yeah, the Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
I watched Logan. First time I watched it in because you had a choice of watching it in colour or black and white.
I've not seen it yet.
It works in black and white.
I believe it's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen the previous one.
Yeah.
The Wolverine.
Right.
I've just got the Unleashed version on
3D. Logan's brilliant. It's gritty. It's done well. It's done really well.
So if you can bring some of that to Indiana Jones, because it's like, because Logan was that aging hero thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be interesting.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 pence about Indiana Jones.
All right.
Any opinions on that other than
that? Well,
do you think they should leave it alone?
No, I think I'm excited for another Indiana Jones movie. I think we should get one. Before it's too late.
Yes.
it's not too late.
Yeah.
Get on with it. It's not too late.
Yeah.
Leave it a few more years. It's time's ticking away.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get it done.
Yeah, let's get on with it. But they need to come up. Yeah.
But I think there's probably a lot of infighting at Lucasfilm, a lot of politics going on. I don't know.
It must be. It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's just chaotic. That's the impression I get. Chaos at Lucasfilm.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd seen some of what you said on Twitter. I mean, do you really think? I know you. Do you really think this smacks of KK's involvement?
Well, she's Spielberg, the president of Lucasfilm.
Spielberg walking away.
Well, I don't know. It's conspiracy theory stuff. That. But
are people saying that?
I've heard it. But I mean, this is just people speculating. There's nothing official. There's nothing official out there. But
well, that's what we do here.
But I mean, for Spielberg just to walk away like that after, I mean, this Indiana Jones 5 has been on the cards for what, 5 years?
Oh yeah, at least
6 years, something like that. And his name's been attached to it for that long, and then we're a month out roughly for him supposedly shooting, and he walks away. Something fishy about that to me. Yeah,
it is weird.
Yeah,
it is really weird. But that's the way it is. So I mean, I guess we'll have to see what happens. But I mean, if they're not going to do it, I don't know if they're going to announce that it's not going to happen. I think it'll just fizzle out, or
probably.
But Ford seems so determined, and he's talking about it in all the interviews for Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
That they must still be determined to make it because they know it'll make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll see. Anyway, let's move on to some Star Wars news.
Some Star Wars news.
Okay. So, Oh, are we on to everyone's favourite director first? I'm too old to care.
I'm too old to care.
Mother Trucker George is on Twitter is too old to care. That we're not. Oh, is it that we're not streaming on YouTube? Oh, is it something else?
That's from something else.
Right, so here we go. Oh, this is from RT. Freudian slip. Oh, everybody's favourite director.
Here we go.
Ruin Johnson.
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Freudian slip. The Last Jedi director Ruin Johnson reveals what he really thinks about the Star Wars universe. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically confirmed what we all thought anyway.
Right, okay. I'm going to have to strap Matt down for this next one. The director of The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, may have just admitted to the last thing that somebody inheriting the massive franchise should admit to. That he didn't even think about the universe to begin with. Huh? Despite the underwhelming reception of The Last Jedi, Johnson seems to have rebounded with the critically acclaimed Knives Out. In a recent interview with Vanity Fair, in which he was discussing the film, the creator said this in regards to working on a universe. I don't really think in terms of universes or in terms of creating worlds or whatever. Oh dear. That's not the interesting thing to me. The only thing that is interesting to me is the story. Is it really? So, in Johnson's opinion, the story specific to, like, whether you are writing a Star Wars film that's part of a 3-movie trilogy or an original thing like Knives Out, you are still telling a story that is new to the thing that you are doing. That it has to work within the context of that movie. He's very eloquent speaker, isn't he?
Yeah. Slow down there.
How do you know woke Star Wars is failure when social justice warriors start blaming Russian bots? Oh, that's an article. So the problem with that statement is that in a franchise like Star Wars, the universe and worlds are part of the context.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
You can't, in one breath, dismiss the universe that your story is set in and then say that your story has to make sense in the context of the film. I don't know if there exists enough confused John Travolta reaction gifs to show how nonsensical the comment is. Then again, this shows exactly what Star Wars fans have been saying about Johnson since the release of The Last Jedi. He had no business making a Star Wars film!
Not at all.
Some franchises are admittedly daunting. Star Wars is one of the biggest science fiction universes of all time, if not the biggest. The original trilogy is legendary, and many people across the world could probably tell you exactly where they were when they saw their first Star Wars film. Its cultural impact cannot be understated. That is the exact reason why Rian Johnson's approach to storytelling is the exact opposite of where it should be when tackling this sort of subject matter. You want a person who cares about the world building, the universe, and the impact on fans everywhere. Like Dave Filoni. There's nothing wrong with wanting to tell your own stories and all, but one of Rian Johnson's films have been his own. However, when you're writing a franchise like Star Wars, you aren't writing for yourself anymore.
No, that's
you're
true.
You're writing for an audience that is already there. And you're being gifted an opportunity to give something cool to that pre-built audience. It's like getting the chance to do a fill-in show for Metallica. The last thing you want to do is fill in for bassist Rob Trillo if he's sick and then show up on stage with an accordion dressed like Steve Urkel. Very good point.
It's true.
I like this writer on R2. Very good. So the best way to summarise handling a pre-established franchise is that you're a contractor. You're going to be given a bit of leeway with what you can do, but you always have to be aware of who your audience is. On a panel with both Mark Hamill and Rian Johnson, you can see that Hamill understood that, and Johnson didn't.
Yeah.
Fictional worlds have had many people screw too much with the source material and end up turning people off. In the world of comics, Nick Spencer's Secret Empire showed us a Nazi Captain America and people tuned out. In television, you can always call back to the moment that coined the term jumping the shark when Fonzie did just that on a pair of water skis. Hey! I suppose in Johnson's case you could call it jumping the Sarlacc pit, but at least one thing can be said about the director's contribution to the Star Wars universe. It retroactively made Jar Jar Binks seem tolerable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
so, does that just tell you everything you need to know? Or...
Now we'll discuss.
We got any comments on there? I can see what people are joining, but I can't see actual comments.
No comments.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Um,
Yeah, I'm sorry if you're tuning in on YouTube because we're not on there,
we're on
and
a couple of issues.
we do get most of our comments there.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson, if he was being brought on for a Star Wars movie, I mean, you might like The Last Jedi. I've been over this ground many, many times, and that's fine. But it's still a bad movie for the middle.
You're wrong.
The middle of a trilogy.
Yes.
It should have been continuing from the first movie.
Agreed.
Basically, in that article, you're saying,
yeah,
I just want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I don't care about the world building. I don't care about the universe. I don't care about the characters that have come before. I want to tell a story. What I've made up, I'm going to tell it. Yeah. That's what you're saying, basically.
Which is what he did.
Which is what he did.
And why it's fractured.
This is why people like myself, who are like big fans of the original trilogy, big fans of Luke Skywalker as a character, just didn't recognise that character. I just didn't recognise that character. I'm thinking, why the hell would he do this? Yeah. You know, you can probably understand it.
It was strange
for
because
a short amount of time, but
it was strange.
Yeah,
because Han Solo was Han Solo.
Yeah, in the first movie.
Yeah, and you know, Princess Leia was essentially Princess Leia.
Yeah, I mean, JJ basically fobbed Luke Skywalker off to Ryan Johnson because he didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, probably.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Too hard box. Next director can deal with that.
Yeah.
You know,
but I did love the way. He was introduced at the end. I did like that, despite the sort of literal hangover.
It gave you something to hope for.
Gave you something to look forward to.
Yeah, because he's there in his Jedi robes,
and then
you're thinking, why is he on this Jedi temple? What, you know, he must be doing some sort. You know, anyway,
we've been through all this.
It's over, man. It's over.
Well, coming back to something kind of related to that point, then, is that I don't know if I think I'd been on our channel and seen you'd liked it or shared the video or something, and assume you watched it. I started watching it but didn't finish it, so I bet you probably have some information about it. It was this guy who's basically saying that like the Force is broken now. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Fill us in on that score.
Right.
Something about magic and
this is I've seen the guy before, and he normally does stuff about weapons and all this sort of stuff. You know, he's not he's not a Star Wars YouTuber.
Okay.
Right. Obviously, a Star Wars fan, but he's not a Star Wars YouTuber.
It's not his thing.
It's not his thing. But this particular video that came out, I think last week at some point, he's talking about the Force and how the Force is this mystical, magical thing that certain people can tap into and use it a little bit, but it's a hard thing to grasp and master.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as we were concerned, like Yoda, for instance, in the original trilogy, he was a master of 900 years or whatever. He was 900 years old. He's been a master for a long time. And he even struggled to lift an X-Wing out of the swamp. You could see that sort of struggle. And
yes. You
go back to the prequels where Yoda also lifts a big pillar and he stops it from crushing Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah.
You can,
and
you know, yeah. And that's a similar size and weight probably to an X-Wing. So yeah, he's struggling with that as well, you know. So
yes,
it's obviously something that's hard to master, even for the best Jedis out there.
Yeah, for the highest midichlorian counted.
Yeah. And it's not some sort of, it's not a Harry Potter magic, if you like. The Force is more mysterious than that.
Yeah, it's not a thing that you
can't cast spells and have anything do anything. You know what I mean?
It's always around.
Yeah. But in these new movies, it's more Harry Potter magic. You know what I mean? There's no struggling going on. Rey can like lift a mountain without breaking a bead of sweat. All these boulders, you know, it's near enough a mountain, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
And she doesn't even sweat. She's smiling doing it, you know. And
yeah.
It breaks that mystique of the Force. I think anyway. I don't know whether you agree or not.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, the thing is, there was a lot of, I mean, their connection thing in The Last Jedi was probably some of the best stuff that kind of worked. And but then they slowly started to introduce his side, like his hand was wet and stuff like that when it was like that, which I was like,
I mean,
but then they've took in the most recent film, they made that into a whole big thing, and it was like he rips her necklace off and
she passes a lightsaber to him. You know, teleports a lightsaber to him. Remember that bit where she reaches behind her back with a lightsaber, and then he pulls it from his back and fights the Knights of Ren?
No, I
remember that?
No.
Yeah, she teleports a lightsaber to him, basically.
Right, but there was the bit where he steals something off her.
Yeah.
Was it the knife thing?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen it once.
That Goonies thing.
Yeah, the Goonies ripoff.
But yeah, there was basically, they were saying, like, okay, now, forget about everything you know. You can just, like...
It's Harry Potter.
Yeah, you can go and nick something off someone from an other side of the universe, and then it arrives in your hand.
Yeah.
So why don't you just go, wait?
Yeah. And force healing as well. This is another good thing this guy brought up. Like, can now Jedi force heal themselves? You know, if you get stabbed with a lightsaber, and you've got time to crawl away, you can just go make yourself better.
Well, exactly.
You know,
instead of train the boy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I feel Star Wars, they've just pushed it a bit too far. This whole thing, they should have left a bit of mystery there and a little bit of the Force is hard to master. It's hard to control. It's hard to do anything with. It's there and it can be used.
Hard to define, but they tried to
add
something
new.
And
there's
define
obviously different levels of skill, depending on what Jedi you're talking about. But
yeah,
you know, some people are Force sensitive and other people are full on masters of the Force. But
yeah,
you can't just lift a mountain.
No,
you know. So
yeah, so that's what he was saying.
That's what he was saying. It's like the Force is broken in that sort of respect now. You know, it's gone from soft magic. Did he say it's soft magic versus hard magic?
Yeah, I think that was the point he was making.
Yeah. So I mean, I found myself agreeing and nodding along to him. Actually,
it is weird. I've done some weird stuff with it now.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
one would hope it's stuff that we don't really have to address unless they're making films after that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, one would hope that they just go back to the old rules when we go into this. That's another thing. Well, we'll do this as a separate news piece.
Yeah.
But I want you to talk about that new thing they announced because I've not even hardly watched the video properly. But anyway.
Right.
All right. We'll be back in a moment. News. Alrighty. So, yeah, what's it called? Star Wars?
The High Republic.
That's it. Yeah. And it was basically...
just a bunch of Jedi, like... Oh, I'm a bit hungry, aren't you?
Dude!
Yeah. Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Jedi.
Yeah.
Now that I would like
Cheech and Chong.
That I would like to see.
The High Republic.
Yeah, the High Republic. Dude, this Force is not worth the effort, man.
Yeah.
Just let's just chill out, man. Just get some greasy frogs from down the road and let's just hang out with Jabba.
Yeah.
He likes to smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
That pipe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah. I saw the thing announced and all that, and people were like, "Oh my god, they're in the High Republic," but then it was only the other day, like the video came up on my Facebook, and it's like I was like, they had the logo there and everything. I was like, "Is this something they made already?" But then it sort of flipped. It sort of went into And we've assembled a writing team, and I was just like,
here we go. Yeah.
And there's like 47 people around the table going, we're the people responsible for writing this new show for you. And I'm thinking,
Christ.
Fucking hell. Remember when it just used to be like one visionary?
Yeah.
Or two that would gather the good ideas and then go, right, you go off and do that.
Yeah.
Rather than just like this huge committee of people going, wouldn't it be awesome if we did?
Did you see
and then they try and cram it all.
Did you see the whiteboard with all the ideas on it? You see that?
No.
Didn't you see that?
Go on. Like I say, I saw him talking. It was like, this is the writing team, and I was just like,
yeah,
I don't even want to know.
Right.
Don't even want to know.
Okay.
So there was a whiteboard visible.
Yeah.
During the meeting.
Yeah, they published it. They took a picture of it and they published it as part of the whole thing, and it's laughable, mate. It's laughable.
So, this is something that's going to be a trilogy of movies, or is it going to be a show?
It's not movies. It's books. It's comics. Yeah, that's about it.
It's books and comics.
Books and comics at the moment. Yeah, it's not.
It's not going to be a Disney Plus or
not yet, but I'm sure they're going to be setting something up. They're trying to set something up. If you look at the main sort of character they've got on one of the publications, it's Brie Larson. They're setting up for Brie Larson. Yeah.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars: The SJW Republic.
Yeah. Right. Where is it?
Right.
So okay.
Okay.
Star Wars. Can't see this. Yeah. There you go.
Star Wars. Oh right. Yeah. It does look like Brie Larson. If you look it up, folks, there's Star Wars: The High Republic cover of one of the books. It does look like Brie Larson. So you're looking for the whiteboard in the meeting.
For this whiteboard from the meeting, and
but it's just showing you adverts of whiteboards.
Whiteboards. Yeah. Anyway, I'll go from memory.
Yeah, you go from memory.
So they had it split.
Nothing's exact on this show. You should know that by now.
No, they had it split into 3 sections on this whiteboard, right? They had like wishes, like Star Wars wishes. So this is what obviously the writers wish to have in this.
Mm.
What else was this? What Star Wars is about and what did anyway, going from memory, what they got included. I found it.
Oh, you found it.
I found it, so I don't have it from memory.
Go on then. Let's have a look.
Right. So you got fiction.
Yeah.
Star Wars with a love heart next to it, and Star Wars wishes.
Right.
Right. So that authentically lived in, right? Which is nothing new.
No.
That's what Star Wars has always been.
Yeah. Right. Lived in universe.
Yeah. Next under that, you got surprise. Okay, so it's got to be surprising.
Surprise! Yeah.
Under that, diversity.
Because that's always been huge.
Because Star Wars has never been diverse, right? This is hilarious. Under diversity, they've got actual ending.
Wow.
Actual ending. I mean,
see how far down the list that comes, folks. After diversity and
actual. I mean, is that like a sly dig towards this trilogy they've just made? I don't know.
It seems like it.
Seems like it to me. But feelings under that. It's got to have feelings.
Feelings. It's got to have the feels.
Relatable characters. Okay.
We haven't had those before.
No.
Not for a while.
And it's got to be a sweeping epic. Okay. That's under the fiction section on the whiteboard. Now,
great,
Star Wars,
strong.
Love heart. Not pro-war.
Huh?
They don't want it to be pro-war. I mean, I don't think Star Wars has ever been pro-war. It's been about war, but it's not been pro-war. It's been fighting against an evil empire.
Yeah. And it's called Star Wars.
And it's called Star Wars.
But not pro-war. We don't.
No, it's not Star Pro-Wars, is it?
No, it's Star Wars anti-war.
Droids. It's got to have droids.
Droids are important.
Droids are important in Star Wars, definitely.
Is this a kindergarten class whiteboard?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Hold your horses. I've not finished. It gets better.
Oh, please tell me it gets better.
Yeah. Right, I'll rush through these and get to some juicy bits. Scope.
Go for them all.
Yeah, it's got to be mythic.
Mythic.
Because Star Wars never been mythic, has it? You know?
No, it wasn't based on the Seventh Samurai or anything like that.
It's got to have space and lightsaber battles. Okay. Wow. Talk about state the obvious. No single main character.
So we're going to have a committee
that they can screw up.
Non-memorable characters that we can do very little with.
The Force.
The Force? Again? How far down the list was that?
That's right at the bottom of this list. Now we're on to the next bit.
There you go, exactly.
So it's Star Wars writers. This is what they're talking about now. This is our next section.
Yeah.
High Republic is the first thing they've got, which is what they're talking about anyway. Relic hunters. So basically, what we got in the last movie.
Do you want to see more of that?
Do you want to see more of that?
Do you want to make it more Indiana Jones?
University under that? I don't know. Is it university?
Is it like a Jedi university?
Maybe.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Star Wars student kids.
Safe spaces for Jedi. This is where it gets a bit like when you said, "Is it
Saved by the Bell?"
Yeah. Is it kindergarten? It's 10-year-olds writing this. They've got dinosaurs.
What?
Dinosaurs.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, somebody's kid sat there next to him and like, I have dinosaurs in the next Star Wars.
I can see the start of this meeting.
But it wasn't enough to stay.
Now we're going to play a little game. It's called Who is Your Daddy and What Does It Do?
Yeah.
Bring your toys back to the carpet. Bring them back. Come on.
Yeah.
So dinosaurs,
and,
exclamation mark. Very important.
And obviously it was too important to mention once, so they've mentioned it twice. They want representation and diversity. Representation and diversity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we never had that in Star Wars. Very important.
Yeah.
Go on.
You know, and to be honest with you, look.
Hello, Mark McTee.
We don't disagree with it. Just stop virtue signaling about it.
I know, yeah.
Just get on with making good stories with different actors, whatever you want to do.
Stop going.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on with it.
And stuffing it down your throat, that was, just in case.
Yeah. And then there's something there I can't really read.
If you've just joined us.
Oh, Arthurian legends. So they're going to rip off King Arthur.
They're going to rip off Excalibur. Well, I might like it then.
Might be like an Excalibur lightsaber.
I might like it.
Yeah, you might do. Yeah.
Take the lightsaber from the stone.
Rival houses. So they're going to rip off Romeo and Juliet, probably.
Harry Potter.
The Sith Empire.
Is that even possible?
This is like set 200 years before Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sith Empire has not been around for, 1,000 years?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point including them?
Well, yeah, but also isn't there a bit of a thing where it's like only two Siths can exist at once? So is it just going to be... It's going to be two guys sat in a big castle going, "Hey,
yeah,
we did it,
massive table. Like, can you pass the salt?
Do you like eating in here?" Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's about it. There's something else at the bottom. Chaos agents. So there's agents of chaos.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds.
These are professional writers.
They sound quite menacing, a bit like Knights of Ren, don't they? You know.
Yeah.
Or Odyssey.
Dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs!
Can I get me some Star Wars dinosaurs?
Oh my God. That is truly terrifying.
Yeah.
So if you just joined us, folks, we're talking about Star Wars: The Quest for
diversity.
The Star Wars: The Quest for writers with an IQ higher than fucking 70 that we can put in a room together and come up with dinosaurs. Yeah, so this is Star Wars: The High Republic, which is basically sounds like the worst committee of writers in the entire known universe.
Yeah,
that they've thrown together to create your next Star Wars I don't even know what to throw after that.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, this High Republic, it might just pass me by. I'll wait until people who I trust give reviews on it, and and there are people out there I do trust, not extremists or anything like,
not extremists or anything.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not going to ask.
Controversial.
I'm not going to ask Benjamin Netanyahu to read it.
Yeah. Not
Stop
controversial.
going on about Benjamin Netanyahu, Lynn. You're never going to meet him. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, there are people out there with a level-headed sort of opinions, and if they say, "No, give it a try, it's pretty good," I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend money on it right away. That's what I'm saying.
Not based on what we've seen so far,
and they've not shown. Not based on what's been happening. No, yeah. Really weird.
Really, really weird.
Especially what's been happening. Probably in the next news story.
How do they hire these people? Is that the best they can do? Is that why they're always advertising for people on LinkedIn? I mean, if I lived in San Francisco, I'd be straight over there. I'd be like, look,
you wouldn't get in, mate. You wouldn't get in. You don't fit the mold.
No, I certainly
want.
No, I certainly wouldn't fit Han Solo's mold. I certainly wouldn't get inside that carbonite.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt there's any Republicans work at Lucasfilm.
No, I don't think so.
Nah. Or if they do, they keep it very quiet.
Is there any white English middle-aged conspiracy theorist musicians who have strong ideas about what Star Wars could actually be if it was good? Not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's absolutely. I'm just glad I turned that video off, because I could tell as soon as they talked to two of the writers, I was just like,
back away slowly.
Yeah. As Bill Murray said in Scrooged, "Oh my gosh, does that suck?" It was very much one of those. So, oh Jesus, ugh. Right, we've only got a couple of minutes, so
yeah. Which one do we go for? Do we go for Palpatine?
Yeah, I mean, us talking about Palpatine being a clone, is that? Do you think we can reduce the length of that rant? We can get that rant in 8 minutes' time.
Do we have to read this article, because we know what the case is, don't we?
We don't have to read the article. I'm just thinking about the rant.
Yeah.
Right. We'll try and squeeze it into 8 minutes, folks.
Yeah.
If we can't squeeze it into 8 minutes, we'll either go a little bit over or we'll make it into 2 parts. We'll spend the entire of the next episode talking about it. And why we hate the idea.
We love Star Wars, really. We do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So well, there was something else, wasn't there, to it? So visual effects supervisor Roger Goyette reveals that J.J. Abrams wanted to reintroduce Palpatine as a clone in The Force Awakens. Now, somebody else posted a thing in one of the Star Wars groups. You might have seen it. I don't know if I screen grabbed it to you. I meant to do. But it was basically a guy saying, "Hey, Palpatine being a clone's not a new idea. It was something that was in the old EU."
Yeah. What Disney scrapped? Yeah.
Yeah, Disney scrapped, and then went, "Look at that over there. We could use that idea."
Yeah.
So
I think it was done better in the EU.
Right. Do you remember how did they use that in the EU? Was this in Heir to the Empire or something? Or what was this?
Dark Empire.
Dark Empire, right?
Yeah. No, I can't remember exactly how they did it, but it was done better than they did it in the movies. Put it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not. So yeah, they basically say it's not a new idea. It's something that was planning all along. JJ wanted to introduce it in Force Awakens.
And why didn't he? This is what I want to know. If that was what the end result was going to be,
maybe it was an idea that they passed over in favor of, like, they put Snoke in there instead, and then said, like, we'll make a new bad guy.
And then Ryan Johnson came along and killed him. So it's like, Christ, we've got to go back to the drawing board
back
again.
to the drawing board. We'll have to bring Palps back.
Yeah.
So,
but my question is, like, if he is a clown,
just before you go there.
Okay.
Can you remember? It's a thing. This is why it made news, wasn't it? Was that Lucasfilm had officially said, yes, he is a clone.
Well, it's in the book. It's in the novelization.
So that's what it is. That's the official.
That's where it's come from. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So go on. So your point is.
My point is, why does Palpatine? How's it pronounced? Palpatine. Palpatine. Yeah. Palpatine. Why does he look like his Return of the Jedi self, with a scarred sort of lightning face from prequels and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
If as a clone, he wouldn't have that. Or did the clone zap himself for consistency? It's a fair question.
It's a very fair question.
It's like if I clone myself, I don't come back with the same scar.
Did he zap himself for continuity? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know,
he would have looked more like Senator.
Chief, he would have looked like
Senator Palpatine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, am I right in thinking that he kind of looked more like Ian McDiarmid, but like with the white eyes and just a bit sort of black? He didn't seem to have he wasn't full Palps, was he? Until he kind of sucked the power off them, and then he became more Palps looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Could be wrong, but that's what I'd
have to give it another watch, but I really don't think they intended him to be a clone. I think this is more of a retcon. All this stuff we're hearing, I don't know. It's
because everyone's gone. Like,
I don't trust
why did they bring Palpatine back there? So they've just gone. Oh, just tell him it's a clone.
Yeah.
Do you think?
That's what I think. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I mean, why not just tell us in the movie? Yeah. To me, it was like a body being kept alive from the wreckage of the Death Star.
Yes.
You know.
In fact, I know exactly what you're referring to now because our friend Ruin Johnson,
Ruin the man, baby,
on Twitter posted the pages from the novelization.
Oh, right, okay.
So check this out. Also, if you want to check out at Ruin the Man Baby on Twitter, particularly on YouTube.
He's a funny fella.
It's bloody hilarious. So this is the extract. Okay, do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
She will take her revenge, Palpatine boomed. Rey continued to approach, his powers intoxicating. She found herself raising her weapon almost against her will. If not for the other presence in her mind, bright and shining with light, she would not have been able to resist him. And with the stroke of her lightsaber, the Sith are reborn, the Jedi are dead. Wave after wave of triumph emanated from him, and along with it came knowledge, memories. Maybe it was their shared blood that enabled her to see his thoughts, but somehow she could, and Rey saw it then. How he'd done it, what he was about to do again. Falling down a massive shaft. The betrayal sharp and stinging. A figure high above, black-clad, helmeted and shrinking fast. His very own apprentice had turned against him, the way he himself had turned against Plagueis, whose secret to immortality he had stolen. Plagueis had not acted fast enough in his own moment of death, but Sidious, sensing the flickering light in his apprentice, had been ready for years. So the falling, dying Emperor called on all the dark power of the Force to thrust his consciousness far, far away to a secret place he had been preparing. His body was dead, an empty vessel, long before it found the bottom of the shaft, and his mind jolted to new awareness in a new body, a painful one, a temporary one. It was too soon! The secret place had not completed its preparations. The transfer was imperfect, and the clone body wasn't enough. Perhaps Plagueis was having the last laugh after all. Maybe his secret remained secret, because Palpatine was trapped inside a broken, dying form. The heretics of the Sith Eternal toiled, splicing genes, bolstering tissue, creating unnatural abominations in the hope that one of these standcasts would succeed and become a worthy receptacle. Funny you should mention receptacles when reading this. The heretics would do anything, risk anything, sacrifice anything to create a cradle for their God consciousness. Nothing works, but their efforts were not entirely in vain.
Right.
There you go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why Palpatine, hi Greg Whitehead, is why Palpatine is apparently a clone in The Rise of Palpatine, of Skywalker.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Well, not really. Anyway. No, it doesn't actually. No.
And on that positive note, it's out soon on DVD anyway. You've rewatched it here though, haven't you?
A little bit, not all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Just Han Solo scene.
No.
For a cry. For a wee cry.
For a wee cry. No, I just.
Dad, I know.
Yeah, The Force Awakens, I watched over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rogue One, I've watched over and over and over again. Mm. The other movies, I've not so much. Watched them like once, twice, maybe.
Yeah. I've seen The Last Jedi a few times. Now I've got a 3D TV. I'm gonna probably watch it in 3D.
Oh yeah.
But it's not one I reach the shelf for. Very regularly.
No, that is the first 6 I tend to reach up for on the shelf.
Yeah.
The original 3.
The original 3, yes.
Yeah.
Not so much Attack of the Clone. I see. I'd still bang.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to. No.
Yaddle.
I'm going to bang me gavel. Oh my God, me wig. Just rambling now.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say I'd still stick Phantom Menace on for a while.
Oh, aye.
That's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, let us know what you think of this whole Palpatine is a clone thing. I mean, I was talking to Andy earlier on today, and he said he likes the film better now that he's a clone.
Really?
Which is fair enough because it means it's not Palpatine. It makes you look at the end of Return of the Jedi differently.
Yeah.
But it makes you look at it a bit more differently than we did
watching
the film for the first time going, oh, is he even back?
Yeah, exactly. I'd probably liked it a bit more if they'd have mentioned it in the film. Why buy this supplementary material just to complete the film? You know? That's what annoys me. I mean, it's all this, isn't it? It's all money.
Yeah, it is all this. But
like milking the cow.
There's also the whole, release the JJ cut thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because apparently there's loads of shit left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So I bet there was scenes and loads of.
Yeah, I think there was a line actually. Now you mentioned that, I recall seeing something the other day where Ian is what's he called Ian McDermott is he's at a convention somewhere and somebody asked him the question about the clone stuff.
Yeah.
And he said there was a line in The Rise of Skywalker that was cut where Kylo says to him, "You're a clone." And he says, "More than a clone." Oh no, what is it? More than a clone, less than a man, or something along those lines. Anyway, so I just remembered that actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So I mean, it might not be a retcon, but they should have had more in the film just to, explain it a little bit better.
Well, from what we've heard previously, it sounds like the final edit was edited by Disney committee anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does sound like that. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll get the JJ cut at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath.
No.
It'll probably be coming around the same time as the Gareth Edwards cut of Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yeah.
And the deleted Lord and Miller footage. But, you know, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see who's fired next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, there's another Star Wars movie apparently on the cards.
Yeah.
They've still got the same sort of dates they had months ago. So 2022 is the next Star Wars movie.
Okay, but nobody knows what it is yet.
Nobody knows what it is. Or who's.
Well, I do hope that new committee are preparing the synopsis.
Dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs! Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Dinosaur with a lightsaber!
Oh my god! It's like 2 franchises all at once.
Yeah.
Let's put him in a fucking fedora as well.
Yes. Jurassic Star Wars!
Jurassic Star Wars Jones! Oh my god!
Brilliant.
All right.
Right, is it time for a pint?
It's time for a pint. Tune in next week where we will be whinging more about these things.
Bringing you the news and reviews and interviews.
And many more things. So, yeah.
Hopefully we're back on YouTube as well.
Yes, hopefully we're back on YouTube.
That's all right.
We're going to beg our technical man to come back next week.
Yeah.
Right, so until next time, good night, Club Star Wars, wherever you are.
See you the next week.
Bye.